Black fraternities, a brotherhood, an organized society of men associated together in an environment of companionship, dedicated to the intellectual, physical, and social development of its members. Every year, thousands of students are exposed to these fraternities. But what really goes on in these fraternities? Is it the common misconception that they are simply a group of young men who practice stepping, throwing parties, and living the college celebrity lifestyle that so many are exposed to? Or is it much more than that? This is real black fraternity life, beyond the glamour. So, what do we know about black fraternities? We know that they throw parties. We also know that they are tightly bonded and are often seen in groups around college campuses. And of course, the stepping. Even those that didn't go to college have some of these same perceptions about them, partly due to what's seen in movies and television shows such as these.
Make way for the buzz of Phi Beta Gamma! Phi Beta Gamma step! Black! Gold! Black! Gold!
As you can see, it is easy to fall into these perceptions based on what is exposed to us. I got a chance to sit down with a few college students and fraternity members just to see what they had to say about their first perceptions about black fraternities.
My first thoughts were that it was for popularity, just being honest. I thought that it was more so just for show. I didn't really know a lot about it, so that was my assumption.
I perceive them as a lot more structured than your normal club, a lot more close-knit, more of a brotherhood than your normal club for your majors, such as, or a club for sport.
Just seeing various college experiences prior to me coming to college, going out with friends that were already in college, I kind of saw the strolling and the stepping, so that was the only side that I did get to see at that age, so that's what I took from it.
Well, I mean, just like pretty much what any typical person is not exposed to, because the first thing you see with fraternities from the outside is like a step show, or see them on the yard doing whatever strut they do. So, I mean, from the outside looking in, when I was on the outside, the first thing I was exposed to was either them strolling or strutting or them at a party.
You could be walking and you'll see flyers on the ground or flyers on post-its, boards, anywhere saying, hey, there's a party here.
Imagine yourself being a college freshman all over again. You're young and no longer in mom and dad's house, and you can't wait to experience different parties and social events that college life has to offer. So instinctively you find yourself to those types of activities, which often involve fraternities. So it now becomes understandable why so many young students initially have these perceptions. But not all have the same common misconceptions. Some actually are introduced to a more positive side of the black fraternities other than the glamour.
My mentor was a member of Camp Outside, and during that whole time I was in high school, he was one of the biggest mentors, a big father figure when I needed it, when both of my parents went to Iraq. So that helped me, and the whole time I was just doing my research and finding out, which fraternity was really for me. He really help guide me and find the right choice that fit me.
I was at my freshman year residential experience, which had the freshmen that were interested in coming to campus a week early, and we were actually introduced to the Black Greek life through a show called Park Jam. And in Park Jam, they introduce all the fraternities that we have that are on our campus. And so the first fraternity that was introduced to me was the Alphas. And they came on and they did their legendary things that are just for them. They introduced us to themselves and they told us how they were brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha. And if, I guess, to kind of recruit some, just to say like, oh, this is what we do.
If you ask any Black fraternity member what they are all about, of course brotherhood is a given, but they pride themselves on the community service and giving back to their school and community.
Here on this yard, we do so much for the yard. We do so many programs for the people, so many community service activities that if they did think that way, then their perception is changing.
There's always some kind of community service doing on campus. Even if we're not doing it together as a chapter, we're always mentoring or giving guidance to anybody that's in need.
We've done quite a few. One of the ones that actually sticks out a lot was reading to those kids up in HISD. Just by us coming there and spending time with those kids and reading to them, they really motivated them to do their work and be good in class.
Last month we had a seminar called Does Heaven Have a Greek Roll Call? And why we picked that program to put on the yard was because a few years back it was an alpha, and it was an alpha man or whatever, and he goes to church on Sunday, and he goes to church, and this particular Sunday his pastor is preaching about Greek versus religion. So his pastor was saying that, man, if you're in these Greek organizations and they're not good, and you're in those organizations, you're going to hell. Wow. So the next day, the guy writes a letter to his chapter of his organization, Fraternity, and he denounces his letters.
We've done a lot of community service. I'll say just in this month, we have went to Star Hope where we fed the homeless, the men in the homeless community. Also, another thing that really stuck out as the community service aspect is whenever we went to the homeless shelter. That was truly an humbling experience, because that was actually my first time ever doing that, and it's plenty of things that we take for granted that we actually shouldn't. Seeing them there, knowing that the only way they're gonna eat is at that shelter. Only place they have to lay their head is that shelter. So just by me being there, helped me really humble and just look back on things and not take anything for granted, and just know that I am truly blessed. Thursday, we had KIPP Academy here on campus, which is a middle school group out of Houston, private school, 7th to 8th grade. Had them gave them a tour of our campus and just basically, just introduce them to, what college life is about, what to expect. We brought them to the campus PV station, the library, gallery, the gallery and the library, and also the band hall in Hobart Taylor. Just basically give them a little aspect of what's going on, what happens on a campus.
Called a campus sleep out, and what we were really trying to do was we were trying to get the students to put themselves in the shoes of the homeless.
Not to know exactly how they are, how it is being homeless, just kind of get an idea.
Basically, we are out here trying to experience what the homeless people go through, because every day everybody's not fortunate like others, and we are trying to experience what they go through. It makes you appreciate the little things.
Fun, go to hump day, that's all fun, but that's not the main purpose of why we're here.
Don't just get into it for the party, because if that's all you into it for, you really kind of is the meaning of the fraternity.